The valley here is like, it's basically like a middle class dream. A lot of people here are comfortably wealthy to the extent that they can retire without debt and in their own home that they built for themselves over there.
Das ganz neues Badezimmer, das ist noch unbenutzt. Das haben wir gerade zusammen.
It was a 2-day event where it literally rained uninterruptedly.
It was basically a flood wave. It took like half an hour for it to rise like 2 meters above ground level. And then we were all trapped in my sister's building overnight. It was pretty rough, for one, because the water was rising so fast and it didn't seem like it was going to stop. Really, really stressful because we saw so many cars swim by and then trees in front of my sister's house were falling. At points, the house seemed to shake because things must have been hitting against it. We weren't rescued, actually. We waited until 4 p.m. the next day, and we didn't see or hear anything. Nobody had told us before that the flood was going to be so bad, and then also nobody told us in any way what the rescue plan would be.
Preparation was done for a height of, let me say, of 4 meters, but not for 8 meters.
In the past, people were, even I was saying, yeah, I mean, if you live in a river valley, you should be aware of the risk. But if you are actually honest with yourself, if you're not someone who has like the faintest clue of meteorology, weather, or science for that matter, how would you know if no one ever told you?
The number of extreme events is on the rise, and there is, of course, a correlation to climate change, and it can also be physically explained easily. Warmer atmosphere sucks water, takes up water, transports it into Central Europe, Southern Europe, Northern Europe, and the potential for higher precipitation, more intense precipitation is simply there.
What we also had in July is like a very primed surface. So it rained before already, so there isn't much capacity for the soil to take up more of the rain. So essentially all the rain, the extra rain that falls, goes right into the river. So and then imagine a valley like the Ahr Valley, where things can't go anywhere.
This is one factor. The other factor is that also the wind systems are changing, often associated with heavy precipitation, and when they are persistent, when they don't move away, lead in the end to floods.
We are an area for tourists here. Will change our cafes, our restaurants, our hotels, all destroyed. All, not even one is functional.
Lots of businesses are closing down for good because the owners have reached this age where it doesn't make sense for them to rebuild. So that means that jobs will disappear. But some are also questioning the kind of quality of life that you can have here, because it was very high, but everything is destroyed now.
There's a special insurance what you need, 2 of them, one for the houses and one for the means inside. I would say 80% of them don't have them. So for these people, it will be harder to reconstruct and to come back to their houses.
Do you worry many people are gonna leave the town forever?
We are hoping nobody, but Yeah, but you have to admit that I guess 5 to 10% will leave the town forever.
I know lots of people who don't want to go back. The stories there are extremely traumatic. People would see their neighbors' houses just get washed away, and nothing has happened there. There's no reconstruction happening, and the people that had lived there are all way too traumatized to go back.
A town needs people. We don't want to be a ghost town. If we cannot provide this means for winter time, then people will leave our town.
An example of people who are not going to go back are the people whose homes are very strongly destroyed and the people who themselves are quite old. My grandma, who lived in the city center, her flat was high enough it's not destroyed, but everything around her is destroyed. All the shops, all the restaurants, everything that made living in the valley livable for her because she's very old. So it was all in a very close radius, so it makes it easy for her to live there. All that is destroyed and will likely be destroyed for a year.
I wouldn't say that they will become climate migrants. Of course, if you look to the news in the TV now, a lot of speculation going on. What will happen in future? Will we get this kind of flood or more water or what heavy rains, hazards, more and more? Maybe that some of people migrate in another area, but where will you find a more secure area? Well, not in our area it was a flood. In other area you will get a hazard or will something else.